What up, friends? Welcome back to another episode of NFT 365.
That was Chloe Lee, my oldest. And this is a special episode as we are celebrating 6 months of the NFT 365 podcast. And so I brought in these three amazing little ladies of mine to give me their favorite NFT from our first 6 months of NFTs. And so the first one up is my youngest, Logan, Virginia. And she picked a Dented Fields. Logie, why did you like this one?
Because it has lots of color, and I like how the eyes are kind of like the Dogman eyes. Oh. And I like the sweatshirt.
And what it has rainbow colors in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites too. And the guy who created it, he made a whole bunch of them, and he does a lot of stuff with the weather. So that's why it has a weather on the inside. That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so Logan, Virginia picked out Dented Fields. Next up is my middle daughter, who has a birthday coming up very soon, and she picked the Bubblegum Kids puppy. Kinsley, why did you pick that one?
Because it looked cute, and I like the face, and I like the background, and I just like the puppy.
So this is another one that is in our Mint 365 project, and it has a cool little pink shirt on, but it has devil horns. I was a little surprised. Aren't you my angel? You picked the ones with devil horns?
I have a dark side too.
You have a dark side too? Is that what she just said? All right, we might have to come back to this one. I don't know about that. That was pretty good. And then last but not least, my oldest, Chloe Lee. Chloe, you picked Lazy Lions. What made you pick that one?
Because I like the face expression and I like how it's just like unique and different.
So Lazy Lions is one of my personal new ones. And for those that know on the podcast, it's the project I've probably talked about the most that I didn't actually own until recently. So if we are keeping score at home, which you might be keeping score at home, probably not. They think I'm still silly. We have the Dented Fields, which is the one that Logan picked, which has this really cool art with a rainbow background. It has a hoodie and just some really different dimensions to it. Kinsley picked the Bubblegum Kids Puppies. Now, I minted the original Bubblegum Kids way back in September. And then when they rolled out the puppies, I thought that was such a cool, kind of added on collection. And we have that in our Mint 365. And then Chloe selected the Lazy Lions with the rainbow mane and the tongue stuck out. So girls, I'm going to let you go back, go play Roblox or whatever you guys are going to do. But what if, I've done this every day for 6 months. And like that 6 months is like almost by Halloween. How does that seem crazy?
Yeah, basically.
Basically? Yeah, what do you think?
It seems like a long, long time.
What about you, Chloe?
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah, a long time. Do you guys think you guys could do that for 6 months straight?
Nope. Heck no.
Well, so Daddy was 40 before he realized that he could actually do it. Because I would have said, no, I couldn't have done it. But I was able to do it because I have a great team and we have lots of fun with it. So thank you, ladies, for joining me on the podcast. And I'm going to jump in and share. Actually, I'm going to share my favorite NFTs from each month that we added to our Mint 365 collection. But I'm going to let the ladies go. Thank you, girls. What? No, we're not playing Roblox on my computer until I'm done recording my section now. Thank you, girl. All right, friends. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that little bit of, insight from my daughters. And I actually think it's actually perfectly played into the conversation I wanted to share for this, 6 months. And I've been sharing kind of leading up to this and even the next couple episodes, we're going to talk about, the journey and lessons learned. But, I think we like to say art is it's in the, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But I also think it's just interesting, not only seeing what my daughter's picked out, but I wanted to kind of jump back into the last 6 months. And so I picked 2 projects in each like 30-day window that I'm just very proud of in the bag. And I'll kind of explain why each one. And then I also, you can stick around to the end. I'm actually going to share just 6 of the duds that are in our wallet. Only one has actually been permanently removed from OpenSea, which you'll have to stay tuned to hear what that is. But for those, we started this project Mint 365 6 months ago, and we've adapted a little bit. Originally it was you have to mint them on the website, and the website only was my parameters. But what I was finding was a lot of projects were minting out so quickly, and with the emergence of whitelists and so on. And so I adapted a little bit and said we have to mint it during the pre-reveal phase. So if it sells out and I can buy it on secondary sale before it reveals the art, then that can be included as well. And so we have each day as we have the projects, I add them that we buy, I add them to a Twitter feed. Of course, I also add them over on our website over at nft365podcast.com/mint365. So let's get into, we're gonna dial back the clock back to November, and we are going to, I'm gonna pick out, we're just gonna go through each 30-day period. So this will be the first 30-day period projects. And I'll tell you, I didn't go look at the floor on these, but I went through the bag and I looked at all 183 NFTs that we've bought, and I just kind of picked out the two that kind of jumped out at me, and I'll explain that as we go. First one that I'm going to highlight as one of the projects that I am super proud to be in our bag is actually might be one of the ones that I will look back on as one of the best decisions, but also the decisions that I questioned the most after it was. And so that is the Women Rise project. And I will just tell you, Women Rise, from a project, I just think they are, emerging as just a really great women activist, artist, really empowering rising leaders on the blockchain. Great art, great team. But they didn't mint out right away. And I actually remember minting them. And then that night, refreshing the page, and I'm like, how did they not sell? I can't remember what the exact number was, maybe 100, maybe 200 on that first day. And it made me questioning wow, I researched the artist, I researched the project and the team. But lo and behold, over the next couple of weeks or so, the project ended up selling out. And now it's a very popular project with a great community. They're still doing amazing things in the space. And so they're definitely one of the ones that I am super proud to have in our bag in that kind of first 30-day mark. And we did that one. Women Rise was on November 28th. So November 28th will be the first one, Women Rise. The next one, actually, another one that might be one of the ones that I look back on as one of the best in our bag. And at the time, I definitely didn't know that was going to be the case. And it is the Coalition Crew. And the Coalition Crew, Peter, the founder, and his wife have run a mastermind, a masterclass, expert mastermind group for entrepreneurs for many years. And I remember, excited because they had the cheetah. It's the cheetah, it's the, Coalition crew with the cheetahs. And I love the art. They had a social good aspect. But I will tell you, the initial process and even getting in the Discord was a little bit all over the place. But then I saw them kind of working things out. And what they did was they had a Genesis collection, which was the 1.0 that we minted. And then in January, they rolled out 2.0. And then they sold out kind of immediately. And the community is amazing. The utility, I'm very active with many of the people that are in that community. And I also have to give them a special shout out. They were one of the first ones when they found out our wallet was compromised. And actually the Coalition Crew, NFT was one of the ones that was stolen and resold immediately because it was holding so much value, up over 2 ETH. They were the first ones to say, hey, what's a new safe wallet? We want to airdrop you one to replace that one. And that's just another sign for me of just a great community and great people. So shout out to Coalition Crew. We minted them back on December 6th, and that was their 1.0. They now have a 2.0 group that launched in January, I believe January timeframe. But December 6th, Coalition Crew. All right, not very much longer down the road, another project that I feel like December was a great month because I started to kind of understand what to look for. And this one had great art, great artist, active community. The influencers and people that they were working with were very strong. And I felt like their community as a whole stood for more than just, a women-led project, or stood for more than just a project that you might, kind of blend away. Like even the art itself is pretty amazing. And for those that are listening on the podcast, if you want to see the art, you can go over our YouTube. I actually have all of the, for each one of these projects, I have the art up on the screen as an overlay. And I will also say, Alpha Girl Club is one that didn't mint out right away. I think it took 2 months. They were definitely a slow burn NFT project. And you're going to notice these slow burn projects, I think, are my favorites. And I don't know what that says about me, but it's a little biased because we have Women Rise, which is a slow burn. Coalition Crew, they did sell out their first collection, but it's much slower than I think they anticipated. This was the Alpha Girl that we minted on December 15th. And actually, I'm going to kind of flip December 15th and go back a couple of days. But this week, I remember this week where actually the next project. And real quick, just on Alpha Girl, they also just brought on one of my favorite humans in the world, Lindsay, and Lindsay Foltz. Lindsay is an amazing leader in the influencer marketing brand partnership world, and she was just brought on brand partnership with Alpha Girl Club. I will also say it's the first NFT I helped her buy. We were at a Buffalo Wild Wings, and I had been telling her I wanted to get her in the space, and I helped her buy a couple NFTs. And funny enough, the 2 in a row that she ended up buying, and then I believe she brought a crypto chick afterwards, first one was this Alpha Girl, and then the second one was another project. And I tell you what, I love this community and this project, and this one is called the Expansion Punks. Now, expansion projects in December, November, December, January were kind of all over the place. But this expansion project, I believe, is unlike every other expansion project. The amount of work that Jeremy and the team went into to create this, I actually had Jeremy on the podcast. So Expansion Punks, we also happened to mint a non-binary and a super rare blonde with 3D glasses version of the NFT as well. So this one is holding its value pretty well during these times. We'll be excited to see what it's worth, come November. But yeah, Expansion Punks. So, we had on the 12th, we minted Expansion Punks. On the 14th or on the 15th of December, we minted Alpha Girl Club. For those that don't know, Expansion Punks, I actually believe launched in August. It took 4 months, and I minted it on December 12th, and I was like maybe the first 4,000. There was the 10,000, and then over the next like 48 hours, they actually minted out. They sold minted about 6,000 of them. They did a bunch of Twitter Spaces. It was just a fun time. That it was one of my favorite weeks in the NFT space. Was that week in December, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, that week in the space. All right, let's fast forward into our third month, which is the January timeframe, and that is January 14th. And I think most of you know this project. It is the Meta Whips. They were also a guest here on the podcast. They also just kind of recently blew my mind. They did a raffle fundraiser for us when they heard about our wallet getting compromised. They were devastated. They reached out to me immediately, the team, Jessup and the team, and they were like, man, if we can help, we can replace the Meta Whips. And they, we had them on the podcast the night before their mint. And they had just said that we had welcomed so many of you, the listeners, had jumped in on Meta Whips. I know some of you have 30, 40 Meta Whips. And I will say this is a project that will go down for me as one that I still can't believe that it didn't mint out right away. And it's also one that I believe when they have their game roll out, their metaverse, their pieces that they have coming out, it's going to blow people's minds and they're going to regret not getting in on this project. But what they did was they did the company was founded in 1993. Of course, my hockey number 93. There's a lot of significance there, but they raffled off their 1,993, the last one of their collection, their gold one. They did as a raffle, and they're actually giving the profits, the revenue generated from that raffle to us, so that we can buy back a couple of the NFTs that were stolen from our wallet. So big shout out to the West Coast Customs Meta Whip project that we minted on January 14th. Now, January 18th, the next one in this month 3, this is a completely different one. This is a very unique one. It is the Board Breakfast Club. And I will tell you, this one immediately jumped on my radar because they were sending you coffee. And they were giving you exclusive access to a coffee club that was shipping coffee anywhere in the world. And I really hadn't seen anyone do really dynamic products shipped worldwide and doing it more than just like one off. And so we actually got the coffee. We have the coffee here. I have not drank it yet, but I've heard from many in our community that happened to mint that project as well, that they absolutely loved this NFT project. So this is a great one. They also did a great job with the art. It's not your standard just PFP profile photo. They actually did a banner graphic, which I thought is actually really cool. But they like to refer to themselves as the world's first Web3 coffee subscription. And we minted them on Mint Day back on January 18th. All right, we're going to jump to the fourth month. Fourth month, we are jumping to, this one is Pause in Space. This is the Mutniks. I've actually mentioned them on the podcast. We minted this one on February 8th, which is actually my middle brother's birthday as well. But it was the coolest minting experience of all of the mints that we've done for this whole time. What it allowed you to do is they had a generator, and this is a team of astronauts that put this project together. I actually first heard them on stage at NFT NYC, and so I had them on my radar to mint them for the project since the first, early on, and they didn't disappoint. But what they did was they allowed you to go to a website and you would hit their generator and it says, do you want to mint this art? And if you didn't like that art, you could remix it again and go until you picked one combination of their overlays that you actually liked, which I thought was just a really cool experience. They also are a great project. They have great strong leaders. I mean, they have astronauts on their team, and just for me when I heard them speak at NFT NYC, they were just extremely down to earth. Really, their story, the way they have the story integrated, just a really cool one. So yeah, Cosmic Pause and the Cosmic Pause, and they're the Mutniks is the one we minted back on, when was that one? That one is on February 8th. Next one is one of maybe my favorite, my top favorite art. But the reason I got into this project was just simply the artist. Javon, this is the Losers Club. We minted them on March 4th. And the Loser Club is kind of like, hey, if we're already losers, we can all just kind of rally together and just, we don't have to hype. We don't have to be toxic positivity. But there's also this character and this aura around this community. And even getting into their Discord, they kept their Discord private. And you had to find your way into the Discord by engaging and amplifying. And it's the team that they have involved is the Losers Club. And we also happened to mint a really cool one, which was the Astro looking one that we minted back on March 4th. And I also have to give a shout out to the team here, is they were another one when they heard that our wallet was compromised. They immediately reached out and said, hey, what's your wallet? I want to airdrop you a replacement for the one that you had stolen. And then they went as far as to find the one that was stolen and rebuy it for us and then send it to us and airdrop in the wallet. So Loser Club, they are representation. The interesting thing is Loser Club is representation of everything I love in Web3. Great artist, great team, great community, and they're living up to it by the fact that they reached out to us to replace one of the NFTs, and then they airdropped the replacement one in there as well after they bought it out there on secondary market. So shout out, much appreciated. Just love, just another example of just the great people and all the great things happening here in Web3. So that was on March 4th. All right, we're going to jump over to month 5, and this is another one that was kind of fun and a little bit different of a project, and this one is Shefty's Pizza. So Shefty's Pizza, really cool project by chefs, pizza chefs. The art is really neat, but they're doing a lot of really creative things with their art, with their, really just their entire community. I know one of the neat things that I've, been excited about their project was, they originally kind of rolled out, I don't remember if it was, if there was a reason behind kind of why they rolled out the way that they did. But the thing that I liked about them out the start was they were like, hey, we're in this for the long term. And they were really committed to putting out there the things that they really liked, the things that were important to them. And as chefs, as creators, and I'll just say, they just have a really great group. It's the largest chef and foodie community in NFTs. It's founded by 2 chefs and just great art, great people. We minted them back on March 25th. So I just really love that we have them in our collection as well. The last one there in this 5th group is actually a one-of-one art that had a generative art component to it. And I will say right now it might be one of the, if not most valuable projects in our collection. It's up there. And it is the Arts of Season. And it's by the artist Dirty Robot, who I had heard of, I think through Clubhouse a year ago, and I was excited. I was like, man, if they put out a project, they want to do this like dynamic, really traditional looking art, but they wanted to add an element of generative to it. And it dropped, really great team. We picked it up for 0.16 Ethereum back on March 28th. And within a month, I believe it was up over 2, even at 2.5 ETH. I believe it's still hovering now like at 1.4, even during these downtimes. But Art of Seasons is a great one that we picked up back on March 28th. And then we'll get to the last month number 6. Talk about our last 2 projects that we just wanted to highlight in our Mint 365 project. This one is Beatheads. Beatheads is founded by Aloe Black and Phil Lunchbag. Phil Lunchbag is an artist, Aloe Black being a musician, and also Tom Cizek, who Tom is a dear friend of mine I've known for many years. We did some influencer work at IBM. He went on to be an amazing leader over at Twitter data team, and then left there and has been doing a lot of great things. And I just love the art. Aloe, I found out about this project, I believe in like September, October, and they were so committed to putting out a great drop that they didn't drop until actually April 21st. And they actually teamed up they are one of the first drops on crypto.com's NFT platform, but really cool art, the music side of it, the utility, and their Discord does a lot of creative things there. So we minted them back on April 21st. And then the last one we wanted to kind of draw attention to of the ones that we minted was actually Gala Girls. And Gala Girls we minted on April 30th. It is a smaller collection. It has 60 one-of-ones. And really their big piece of their women-led project is women's safety in Web3, women's safety in life, and women empowerment. I just felt, I got to listen to the founder the day before they were minting, the artist and the founder, and I just could hear how committed they were to using Web3 and this amazing art to educate and build education around safety. And I just thought that was a really unique use case, beautiful art as well. And so that was Gala Girls that we minted back on April 30th. So that's a little quick tour for you. That's a total of 12 projects over the last 6 months that I just wanted to draw attention to. There's other projects that we love as well. Other projects that are probably worth more on the floor, but they're ones that I just think are worthwhile, kind of that piece. Now, not all of it has been great. There are some NFTs that are in our bag that I'm either a little bit disappointed that we minted them, or I'm hoping that they come back, but right now they feel like they aren't going to. And so I'm going to quickly just go through those. I'm not going to go through them as in depth as I did of the winners. But on November 22nd, we minted Pog Punks on Solana. And I will tell you, the thing I liked about their project on that mint day was that they were focused on a multi-chain derivative solution, right? Where you have crypto punks on Ethereum, they were going to do Pog Punks on Solana, and they were also going to kind of like expand beyond that. But it really lost momentum, and I figured out that there was so many derivative copycat projects on Solana that for the most part, that was probably just something I should have avoided from the jump. The second one, that is one that I kind of regret that's in our bag, or I look back and be like, man, is Blockheads. Now, I'm a big Legos fan. My daughters, of course, love Legos as well. I just love Legos as a whole. And when I saw this art and I saw the technology behind this one called Blockheads, I was like, man, this is really cool. And I was like, it looks kind of like the people from Legos. I was like, but I guess they know what they're doing. Well, quickly I found out that Legos, I believe, delivered them a cease and desist, and they ran into some really legality problems on their art. But I will tell you, you could actually, if you minted like 4 of these Blockheads, you could pick the different traits from the 4, add them to one, and then that one could be the one you mint forward. So there's some really cool tech, really cool things that are going on. Unfortunately, I think they didn't really think through the actual like kind of legality part of the conversation. All right, the next one, and I will kind of blame my daughters on this one, as they were big fans of Among Us. And when I heard that there was an Among Us NFT drop, I was kind of excited about it, but I will say I on this one, I didn't do as much research as I thought I should have. And just like the Blockhead ones that I minted before, They didn't do the, the legalities of it, the utility behind it really wasn't, it's just not there. And the project now, I believe, is 0.00001, and kind of, I think, end up being one of the duds that are in our bag, unfortunately. Fourth one I wanted to kind of highlight here is the Pixel Mutant Apes. For whatever reason, the pixel ones I haven't had much luck with that are pixelated. But, Mutant Apes, this was, I believe, in January, like right at the beginning of January. That day, I remember there was another project that we were going to mint, and that one sold out too quickly, and the price went really high. And I was like, you know what? I'll just go with the second best one, which was this pixelated Mutant Apes. And I think within 24 hours, I realized, this might not have been the best selection. The art's kind of I'm not a huge pixel art guy to begin with, but not much community there, not much growth there. We'll see kind of where that goes. And now we'll go to our last two. I guess we can call these duds, or ones that I just kind of highlight here on this 6-month anniversary podcast episode. And both of these were hyped. Both of these were celebrities. And both of these were, without question, rug pulls. The first one is Swipe the Fox, which is, Swipe the Fox is Fox from the Sacramento Kings. He is a basketball player. And this one, I mean, it's kind of shameful in my opinion. After he dropped the actual NFT project, and this was kind of like as we were coming out of the global pandemic. The unfortunate thing is he kind of put out a press release and said, you know what? I think this is way more work than I realized, and I just want to focus on playing basketball. And it was really disappointing because at the time I had seen a lot of really not great projects rolling out within the NFT space from celebrities and influencers. And I did my research. He had hired a great marketing team, hired a great community manager. It felt like, with the art, his last name being Fox, the art is Fox. I thought this one was going to be good. He calls it a temporary hiatus, I believe is what he called it. But it is one that I just think, unfortunately, is probably not going to be worth anything down the road. And the last one is CryptoSys by Lana Rhodes. And Lana Rhodes, for those that don't know, is a really big influencer, Instagram, YouTube, kind of like a Paris Hilton more of this kind of generation. And I was excited. I watched her Facebook Lives. I did a lot of research to see, like, man, I think she's like dialed in. She's committed to this community. And the art was a little scandalous, but it kind of matched to her brand. And she talked a little bit about like some of the things that she was excited to do for her community. She talked about some of the upcoming plans. But quickly after, I believe she made like $1.9 million overnight as it sold out. Quickly there was people talking about, her having really no idea what she was going to do with the community. She didn't really want to pay her people after the mint day was complete. So all the research I did on her team, they were a great team, and shout out to them because they did a great job. But I don't believe she just didn't want to invest and keep the project going after that. And it's actually the only project of 183 plus mints that we've now done that has been completely removed from OpenSea, and I think it's still out of OpenSea, which is unfortunate. So those are the ones that, if we kind of dial back into this whole thing, I just want to say, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I just want to, the shout out to when we started this project, we really had no idea how this would grow and all of the things that this has really afforded us. And so, I'm going to talk a little bit more over the next couple of days about, some of the lessons we've learned over the last 6 months. But this was just my way of kind of looking back into our bag, into the 6 months. I will tell you, every Friday episode, we are going to try our best to highlight that week's mints. So what we minted the previous 7 days, I'll kind of talk through them a little bit in our episodes moving forward. That's been one of the big requests from you, the community. And lastly, I just want to give a shout out to the team. For those that don't know, we have Drew Cohen, who is the co-genius between the two of us on the train. finalize kind of all the details around doing the daily podcast and the Mint 365 project. He's helped me produce it, partnerships, bring on a lot of the guests. He's also the co-founder of Meta Athletes. And then a shout out to Ryan Hurry. Ryan was on Drew's team. Ryan has been an essential member of our team over the 6 months. We're doing lots of great things with our community, with our YouTube editors that we have on the back end. Every one of these episodes also has a video on YouTube. So shout out to Ryan. Also shout out to Kevin Sturmer. Kevin's actually been on the project or been with me the longest out of all of the people on the team. Kevin is the one that designed our NFTs. He is, of course, the intro music. And I'm going to give you guys a special treat. As soon as I wrap this up, he created a music NFT as an airdrop for our Mint 365 holders. And I'm going to give you exclusive listening to that NFT as we kind of close out this episode. So shout out to Kevin. And then we grew the team even further, and we brought on Allison. Allison Delphi Cat is an amazing community leader. She happens to be she has an amazing full-time profession in Canada, but she came on, has really taken on a leadership role with our community, managing not only like our community as a whole and keeping me in line as well, but also the moderators in our Discord. And I want to give a shout out to the moderators in our Discord as well. We have Amy, we have Jen, we have Josh, we have Carter, and we have James. And so shout out to that whole team, our whole team. We're up to the 9 of us now are all part of this project, and we have big things ahead. I just will let you know. We have merchandise that we'll be rolling out as NFTs that you'll be able to buy merchandise with some of our sayings like "Do your own damn research," "We are greater than me," "It's okay to not be okay." Of course, NFT 365, including some of the merch that you've seen me wear on the videos. We're also going to be going to events, and of course, I've teased out our upcoming big NFT project that will be. I'm going to say what I say most. I don't like others saying, but unlike any other NFT project that you have seen. But with all that being said, I couldn't do it without all of them. And I also couldn't do it without all of you listeners. I know many of you listen every single day. And as much as it's a commitment for me to be consistent as the host, and I'm spending 4 hours a day researching the NFTs to buy, which I haven't bought today's NFT either, by the way, so I have to jump on that after I do this podcast episode here on this Saturday afternoon. But if it wasn't for all of you suggesting, suggestions and questions for podcast episodes, so many of you in the Discord, we're now pushing 2,000 people that are really active in the Discord. We do a DJ night on the weekends. We have trivia night on Thursdays. We do a town hall on Wednesdays. If you ever want to get weekly updates, you jump into our Discord every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We do town halls. And then if you're holding our ADHD coin, that's the last thing I'll mention here. We just rolled out every Friday. If you're holding 93 ADHD coins, you get free access. And remember, you're not sending these coins to me, but you get access to a weekly phone call, a 1 hour Zoom. Everyone was on there. We had our first one this past week. It was so much fun. We ended up going 95 minutes. We talk about a little bit of everything. You can ask questions. I cover some of the things that are currently going on. I dropped a whole lot of alpha, even dropped some things around the name and the game theory that'll be in our upcoming project. And so if you're interested in doing that, you don't have to be in our Discord for it. You just have to be holding 93 ADHD coin. And the last thing I'll say is that we are rolling out another new feature, hopefully for everyone here, that'll increase your ability to be in the know with what we have going on. So we are using community.com, which is an SMS text-based messaging system that allows us to send out text messages to anyone that signs up. And we also can allow you to sign up, and then you can actually customize what type of notifications you want. So do you want to be notified by all of our announcements? Do you only want podcast announcements? Do you want podcast and NFT announcements? And the cool part about it is you can reply to that text message, this SMS group, and we will get those messages, and either myself or someone on the team, more than likely, myself, Drew, Ryan, Ryan or Allison will be the ones replying back to you. So if you have questions, comments, you want to find out things. For me, I don't want to force everybody in the Discord. I don't want to force everybody into our Facebook group. Shout out to our Facebook group as well, Facebook group. If you're interested in checking that out, just search NFT 365 on Facebook. You'll find the Facebook group there as well. And so with all that being said, my friends, I think it's time. We're going to close out this episode. 6 months in, 6 months to go. I want to thank everybody for kind of coming on this journey with us. And I'm going to leave you with the song that was written by Kevin Sturmer, who does our intro. And it's a music NFT that we are be airdropping to all of our amazing holders of our NFT. And I'm just really proud of everything that has come of this. We do proof of podcast NFTs every single month. We've done 3 months of that. I mean, we've put out, a couple thousand NFTs across the board. We've been doing a daily podcast that also has a YouTube video and a blog post. We're buying an NFT every day. And we're also, doing some other great things in the Discord and everywhere else. So, it's not bragging. It's more just very proud. I hope you can feel that. So with that being said, let's kick it over to Kevin to kind of sign us out.
This show is not financial advice, so do your own damn research. From the D to the Y to the O, do your own damn research. What the f*** is a non-fungible token? Define success. Define success. We are greater than me. This show is not financial advice, so do your own damn